So I want to make another video as well. As you can see that there's no electricity here in South Africa. Not that Eskom, the power generator, cannot generate electricity. It's said that they are telling us that they cannot generate electricity, of which I don't believe it. That is just hogwash. They can generate electricity. They just don't want to. The reason why they don't want to is because they want to sell it. The SOEs, they want to sell SOEs to private individuals. This is just political gimmick. So what I was saying in the previous video, and I want to say again, is that countries change because of individuals. I'm saying this because I want to encourage certain individuals. There are certain individuals that God has given the mandate or the wisdom, the calling, whatever calling it is that you have. I'm trying to find the best lighting position. My little lamp. It's up to you, leader. Nobody else is gonna do it. Nobody. There's nobody who's going to make it happen. You see, I mean, I'm broadcasting from South Africa, but I do not know where you're watching me from because I'm posting it on YouTube. YouTube is very powerful. Anybody in India can be watching. You can be watching me in Pakistan. You can be watching from Myanmar. From Taiwan, from South Korea. And in your community, you have got an idea of how to take the community forward. But then you're thinking that if I tell my people, no, even if you tell your people, you will get some people who will say, that's a good idea, ne? You've got the rest who won't even understand what you're talking about because they don't think about those things. So my encouragement is go ahead and do it. And figure out a strategy that would not need a buy-in from the people. Because guess what? They won't buy in. Especially if your idea is good, they won't buy in because people are not designed to buy into good ideas. People are designed to buy into pleasure. That is why they vote for celebrities. That is why they follow celebrities. Because celebrities are people that give them nice music, nice films, things that give them pleasure. So, but then people like politicians who for policies. This is educational stuff. It is too educated. People don't like stuff that is scholastic. You understand? So if you come like, yo, as a community, we can diversify. They don't even know what diversify means. They don't even know what investment is. They don't even know what community endowment fund is. They don't know. They don't care. They don't want to know. They will never know. And they will never want to know. And they will never be interested. They are not interested in their own development. Because all they want to see is them developing, but they do not know the insides of it. So therefore, my encouragement that you as a leader, the reason why you are a leader, okay, is because you have decided, you have seen what must be done. There is two types of leaders. I'm talking to the one that actually knows what to do. I'm not talking about the other type of leader that just wants to lead. Usually, we get people that want to lead for the sake of prestige, not because they've got an idea of what they would, of how to transform society or transform an organization. No, they don't know. They just want the prestige that I am the boss. To some people, it makes them, feel good about themselves, knowing that they've got other people under them, but they've got no substance. They've got no plan whatsoever. So I want to encourage those that have got a plan. Those that don't have a plan, they're not even listening to me because I'm boring to them. They can't watch a video with a face like this. For you to persevere here to this level, it means that you are interested in what I am saying. You're not interested in how I look. Did I cut my hair? Do I look nice? Am I handsome or what? No, you are looking and listening to the message that I am speaking and trying to pick stuff from my mind, trying to see if we can relate and we can learn things from each other. That is actually what the leaders that we are looking for. That is why I don't chase numbers in my YouTube channel, because I've realized that the majority of people cannot comprehend the depth that we are at right now. Okay. The people that still will follow me are people that are interested in deep things, of which there are very few and they are rare. So I wouldn't expect my video to get 1 million views. I'll be surprised that there's a million people who think. Usually, people who would get 1 million views if I do take off my shirt and I do show muscles, look hot, you get a lot of views, because people are into entertainment, the majority of them. But this channel of mine is not into entertainment. I can entertain, by the way. I'm multi-talented. I can write comedy. I can do all of those things. But this this channel is not about entertainment. It's about building our earth, building our world. And I'd like to encourage you, as I said in the previous video, that as far as Africa is concerned, for Africa to grow, we need to realize as black people, I think it's time for black people to realize this thing, that you need white people. Okay, you need white people. Like, I've been thinking, I've been waking, I've been moving, and I've seen that, as terrible as black people, I think that white people are, but you know what, they're the best. They say it's better a devil you know than an angel you do not know. Because when I look into it, the more you try to succeed, the more you get black people who try to block you. And the more you get white people who are more supportive, which is amazing, really, because I've realized with black people, when you try to build black people and they recognize that you're trying to build them, the first thing that comes to their mind is like, let us support another black brother who is helping us succeed. No, they're like, who are you? You are going to shine. Everyone will know you. You're going to be famous and rich, and not me. You're going to look better than me. So let me crush you. The very same people that we're trying to build are the very same people that will crush you, because they are so self-defeated that they are not thinking in terms of, this one is trying to help us. Okay. Maybe he is wrong there and there, but he is right also on that point, and that point, and that point. Let us focus on the point that he's right on and build together. No, they will accentuate whatever little weakness that they see in you. I mean, whether it's a real weakness or not. Well, sometimes it's actually a real weakness. I mean, we are not perfect. I am not perfect. I think I've got great wisdom that I can contribute to the world. At the same time, there's also some things about me that are weaknesses. But if you are going to be looking at the weaknesses, you're probably black. If you're looking at my strength, you're probably white. Because black people feed on evil. It's the game he sang in his song. He said, but tell me why all hood nigger feed on evil? Why do black men feed on evil? That is the game in his song. What's the name of that song? I forgot. One of the songs by the game. He also realizes that black folk in the neighborhood, they feed on evil. They feed on destroying other black folk. I was having a conversation with another guy at work the other day. He was telling me that, in the township, if you're going to make money or succeed, make sure that people don't understand how you make that money or how much money you have, because they will try to destroy you. He says, nah, don't get it twisted. Because I was speaking to the guy, I'm like, okay, guy, we can do this and that, we can make money this way. It's like, yeah, I hear what you're saying. But when you make money in the hood, make sure nobody knows, because they will destroy you. And it's so true, because I've stayed in townships with black people. The moment they see something positive about you, they all gang up against you to destroy you. Black people, I'm not talking about whites, black people will gang up against black people. I know I'm black, it's not racism, it's not whatever, it's observation. If you are arguing with me, if you are black, try to move up in a black neighborhood where there is poverty. Try to move up in a black neighborhood where people do not like education. Try to be seen around reading books. They will hate you for reading books. They want you to stay with them there in the weekends drinking alcohol and becoming drunk just like them. They will never support you. And if I like people who don't support me, they are bad. But they would actually do all they can do to destroy you, to bring you down to their level where they are. That is black people for you. So when black people talk about black consciousness and being woke, the first thing you must be woke to and be conscious of is your black brother and sister that is going to be against you. That is going to be the impediment to your plan to help black people. Black men has received a curse that I don't understand, which is beyond, recognition. I'm not saying that white people are not like that. I'm not saying that white people are not jealous. I'm not white. I have not. I have in my life sometimes stayed in white communities where I was the only black person. But yeah, you do get jealous is everywhere. It's universal. It has no color. It has no color jealous. But for a people, alright. Okay, the video was cut. I do not know what you're talking about. But okay, I'll just carry on, and I just saw a video of the president of Zambia speaking in the European Parliament, asking for a good working relations with the European Union, and telling them what Zambia will do. He says that Zambia is going to work in agriculture and climate change, blah 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 blah. But like he's trying to convince the Europeans what Zambia will do. It's not the Europeans that are going to make Zambia do what Zambia wants to do. Zambia would have to do what Zambia wants to do, whether he told the Europeans or not. It's the same thing I heard the president of Ghana also speak to some Swiss people, telling the Swiss people that Ghana is going to make chocolate. Okay, you don't have to convince the Swiss. It's up to you to do it. Okay. So this inferior complex in Africa, even with the African leaders, then I began to realize that what God has been telling me is true. That we are not well developed as a people. Such as that our leaders, those who lead, they don't struggle like campaign to get those political positions because they've got agenda that is for the people. No, they just like being on top. Once they get there, they become clueless and they be like, "This is a job that must be done, and you've got to deliver." But what am I gonna deliver? And then they begin to see stuff around. It's like these people think that they must have positions. Then I was asking God in the afternoon that God, when they get these positions, that they actually don't have a clue what their positions are for. And then who do they think is gonna do the stuff that must be done? Because the job says president of a country. It is you who must make things work. But anyway, you never got there because you wanted to make things work. You just wanted to become president. You have a nice car. You look prestigious. And then God says to me, well, they believe there is a God out there who makes things happen. They believe that there is somebody who must do stuff. In their minds, they tell themselves, there is somebody. There is no somebody. It's you. Okay. If you're going to be a leader, whether it's a small organization, whatever it is, see, people are very much power hungry. We like positions. We like to be the chairperson. We like to be the leader of this and that. Okay, that thing that you're leading, it's not gonna go anywhere unless you decide to do things. And the plans that we have are not going to be carried out by anybody. Nobody's going to make sure that they are done except you. So I listen to these two African presidents, then the way that they speak to the Europeans, is if like they're trying to convince the Europeans, for the Europeans to make them do stuff that they themselves can do without even communicating to the Europeans about them. Okay. But it goes on to that point that I said earlier on, that I've come to a realization that Africa is not going to develop without white people, Europeans, Americans. I know it's going to be controversial to those so-called woke blacks, but I'm going to challenge you that your wokeness means nothing if it just means speaking and doing nothing and intending to do nothing except to accumulate positions. And when you get positions, you want tenders. You see, in South Africa, for the really big problem, most black South Africans assume and want political power and proximity to political power for the sake of tenderpreneurship. Okay, tenderpreneurship doesn't build an economy. All right, it's about, okay, I must get close to power and get tender money. That's it. That's done. Finish and clear. I'm the chairperson of ANC Johannesburg province or Gauteng province. Gonna get tenders. That's it. Okay. You can get tenders as the chairperson of that region, but your job is not to get tenders. Your job is to create an environment that is going to help people, that is going to build the economy so that there will be tenders in the first place. Because if we are chasing tenders, in 50 years' time, there will be no tender. Okay, there will be 2 or 3 tenders left. All the thousands upon thousands of tenders will be gone, because the tenders that we have now are there because of the economic infrastructure that the apartheid government put in place. The white apartheid racist government put in place development, so much that now cadres are fighting over those crumbs, over the little bread slices left, and nobody's baking new bread because nobody knows how to bake bread. Nobody cares about baking new bread. People want to eat what is left until it is gone. Something happening in Zimbabwe. ZANU-PF is busy destroying the little that is left. I predicted what one day in Zimbabwe, people are going to be charged for existing. For just being in that country, they will just be charging you money. Because the guys in power, they've got no clue why they are in power. They just want to be in power for the sake of it, to feel good about themselves and to still destroy whatever is left. Nobody's interested in building. Mostly of the criminals are not interested in building. And those that are interested in building are not criminals. So they fear the criminals. That's why they step back and hold back. That's why you must have the Holy Spirit. It doesn't play. Holy is the Lord. Criminals will die. If God says do that and criminals are against you, they'll be destroyed. Holy. Don't play. Be radical. Be radical in your approach. Holy. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Now we can begin to build Africa. Because Africa actually needs leaders, black leaders, who will transform this continent. Because they understand that our people are not the ones that will transform Africa. Just like the Chinese people did not transform China. Just like the Americans, the British, the Europeans, they are not any different from the Chinese and Africans. The ordinary American citizen does not know how to become a global superpower or to maintain it. The average British citizen or European citizen, they've got no clue of what it is to be part of EU, how to run the world. They don't. USA is a global superpower because of the so-called 1% or the kleptocrats or the whatever name you want to give them, or you want to call them the Jews, or you want to call them the whatever names do they use them. They use these derogatory names that are used to denote to the richest people in the world. Antichrist, Satanist, whatever. It is these people that actually build the world, that keep the world intact. Whether people like it or not, the majority of the people do not know what they're doing. And they've got no clue. You know, I know that people like to bash the 1%, and in my channel I've bashed the 1%. But the 1% is actually keeping us alive. We have food because they produce food. We've got jobs because they start businesses, entrepreneurship, supply chain. They've got universities, the trainers. We've got governments, national states, because they created national states, sovereignty of nations, global peace and order. It's because of the 1%. It's because of Bill Gates. It's because of what you call it, the Bilderberg group, those guys that meet in secret, so-called 33-degree Masons or the Illuminati, at the end of the day, they're the ones who are keeping the world in order. The American empire, so-called, you can say how evil the United States is. But there is a general level of global peace, general level of freedom in the world. They are not perfect because they're humans. They can't be perfect. Nobody is perfect. But at some point, we must, praise God for those that lead us, as imperfect as they are. But they are trying their human best to bring the best. Because as I am looking at it, and I'm looking at the majority of people, and I'm beginning to see that if the majority are left at the mercy of the majority, they will self-destruct. Indeed, they will self-destruct. Right now, we've got people like Bill Gates who do all sort of things, fighting diseases in Africa, and is in the forefront of this fight against COVID. People are demonizing him. He's a satanist. He wants to destroy the population of the world. Yet he's the guy who who's working for the world. So I realize that you will never please these 7 billion people in the world. No, you never please them. And it's because they're jealous of Bill Gates. The reason why Bill Gates is hated is because the 7 billion people, they all wish to be the richest man in the world, but they can't. Bill Gates was, for a long time, he has been the richest man in the world. And because of that, almost all the people in the world are jealous of him. So they're going to express their anger at him. You understand? They're going to express their anger while he's using a Microsoft PC, some Microsoft phone, or using Windows, or whatever stuff that came from Bill Gates. They'll be telling him how evil he is, using his stuff. You understand? So I began to realize that the calling of leadership is one that means that you really have to maintain your peace and know very well that the people that you are leading are terrible people. They will hate you and they will tear you apart. Do not trust them. Do not even give yourself to them. The Bible says Jesus did not give himself to men because he knew what was in the heart of man. I never really quite understood the meaning of that verse until quite recently. That though Jesus came to save the whole world, he actually separated himself from the whole world. If you read the Bible very well, all the time he was separating himself to be with the Father. And when he would come, the people would rush to him, trying to make him king, and he would draw himself away from them. I used to wonder, what's up with this thing, Lord? Why is, you read the Bible and it says that Jesus fed the thousands. After feeding them, they want to follow him. Then he sends them away, or he runs away from them. Like, why does Jesus run away from these crowds? For years, I've always asked that question. I've come to realize that if you're going to lead the world, separate yourself from the world. If you don't, the world will tear you apart. Understand? They will tear you apart even if you are bringing the best things for them. Because when you will be in that level of thinking of ideas, they're not there. They're in that level of saying, this guy has got ideas. He will look smart. People will like him. He will look important. And not me. Hey, I don't like anyone to look more important than me. So let us destroy him. Because we want to look important. In fact, they'll be lying to each other. They'll be saying, let's destroy him. When they destroy you, they will turn on each other because it's on the inside. It's this pettiness in people that they want to feel important without actually doing anything important. Okay? That's people for you. People want to feel important. They want to be made important, while least not doing anything important, not making any contribution whatsoever. So the moment you start to make a meaningful contribution, that is the moment you are going to find yourself surrounded by enemies all over the place, because they realize that you are the real deal. And because you are the real deal, it means that your ideas will work and people will recognize your ideas. And not just your ideas, but you. And if they recognize you, they don't recognize me. So I can make you succeed. I cannot let you succeed. No. I don't care what you're doing is good for me, even though you're gonna help us poor people, but what you are doing is gonna make you important. And it's gonna make me useless. So I will destroy you. You see? That's the mind of the people around you. That's why you shouldn't be in the business of sharing people. I've got this great idea. I think we must do A, B, C, D. We must do that. No. They don't want to know. They don't want to know it from you. They don't want. I've met a lot of people in life. Have you ever been in a situation where you advise somebody and especially in a grouping, you give them a good idea. Maybe they are the leader. Usually it's the leaders who've got this problem. They don't want it if you say the idea in front of other people. Because if it is let's just say we are a group of people, maybe there's 20 of us. We have got a leader, you're just one of the members. Then we get into a problem. And then the leader will say, any suggestion? The leader always says that because they want to look like, you see, these guys, to them, it's also about looking good, optics. Not actually doing good, but just looking good. Anybody who's got an idea, don't think that the leader expects anybody to have a good idea. No, the leader expects you to have lousy ideas, and then they will go and think, and then they come with a great idea that's gonna save the day, makes them look important and all that stuff. And then when you lift up your hand and you say a good idea, and the leader recognizes a good idea, he will crush it. Do you know why? Because it doesn't like other people to think that you do have good ideas, because he thinks that other people will make you the leader and not him. So they will crush that idea and say it's bad, and only to come the following day with the same idea, change a few things here and there, make a remix to make it look like it's theirs, so that they get the glory. It's about glory. So I've realized when you are busy trying to build stuff, people are not interested in the building, they're interested in the glory. He's about to get to the glory. No. He cannot have it. Why at least you're not thinking about the glory? You're actually thinking about, solving the problem. The problem that they also want to see solved, because they are suffering in the problem. They want a solution. Zimbabweans want a solution and they are suffering. But when they hear you coming up with a solution, they won't like it. Even if the solution is going to help them. Because what they don't like is the part whereby you will be recognized. That's what they don't want. They don't want you to be recognized. They don't want you to be recognized, even though you are bringing a solution for them. So it becomes a challenge to new leaders. If you step into authority, step into a place where you have to do something, you discover that you have to do stuff without the approval of your group. Sometimes you don't even have to tell them what you're doing. You don't have to explain to them why you are doing what you are doing. Because once, it's funny. Do you know why you don't have to tell them? Because once they see that it is worth it, they'll be jealous of you. Once they see that it is not worth it, they will attack you on the basis that it is not a good idea. If it is a good idea, they will attack you on the basis that it will make you look good and glorious and not them, and so they don't like it. So either way, people are going to be against you anyway. Holy is the Lord. Let us stop there tonight. I hope this electricity is going to come soon.